Good evening, race fans. Welcome here to Daytona for tonight's Billy Blanco 200. My name is Robert Hill Jr. Joining me up in the booth tonight is William White. Will, how you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm doing great, thanks. Even better now that I've got a race named after me.
Absolutely. You are Billy Blanco himself. As you can see, folks, on the screen, 80 laps, no stages, and 3 sets of tires. Well, let's take a look at the starting grid for tonight's Billy Blanco 200. It's our teammate, Corey Abbott, on the pole alongside Jeff Green in row number 1. Row 2, Leighton Norgard and Dave Carpenter, with Dustin Dorr and Brandon Key making up row number 3. Jay Connor and Dan Martinez, row 4, with Brandon Ultra and Carlos Acosta rounding out the top 10. Why don't you take us through to position number 20?
Absolutely. Michael Hossack in the 24 car, all the way from Canada, is going to start 11th with Frank Foti on his outside in P12. Jess Story in the 29 will start 13th with the third Abbott Motorsports car of Andrew Hardcastle starting 14th. Fellow Andrew McCall, will start 15th in the 87 car. Or is that 67? And 16th will be Connor Thompson in the number 16. Mark Rabalis and Tyler Dixon will make up row 9. And Mitch Javier and Dustin Haynes will round out the top 20.
Starting 21st tonight, Kendall Noah Player alongside Justin Wadsworth in row 11. Jaden Racimus, Harrison Talon, row 12, Caleb Pecumer, Josh Smith, row 13, Robert Smith, Brent Jones in the 14th row, with Kyle Simmons and Tyler Skordensky making up row number 15.
Dylan Havitt and Christopher Paff will make up row number 16, and then the back row will be Gavin Higgins in the 20 and Trey Holmes in the 48.
And Josh Osborne, of course, rounding out the field. Well, folks, it does look like we're going to get set to go green this time. Will, let's make a race pick here, my friend. Who is your pick to win?
It's easy to go for someone like Corey Abbott, Jeff Green, Leighton Norgard, who's qualified right up at the front, because that makes your job so much easier at a super speedway. But I think I'm going to look further back in the field, someone who tends to just want to survive. I might have a bit of teammate bias, but I'm going to go for Andrew Hardcastle just because he loves that. He has that philosophy of just wanting to survive to the very end. And this season, he's been there at the end. He's secured top 10s, top 15s. So hopefully that philosophy can pull through for him. He might get a win. Definitely
a solid pick there. I'm going to go right ahead of him here. That is the 41 of Franklin Foti. My pick to get the win tonight, using lessons learned from his son Tyler to get it done here today at Daytona. Pace car about to make the turn to pit road. We're getting set to go green here, Will.
Absolutely. The iRacing.com pace car pulls off, ratings. It looks like they're now ready for the green flag to come out. They step in the lap, and Corey Abbott gets a good start. The outside line, though, looks a little bit more organised. Leighton Norgard's got a little bit of a gap to his teammate. We'll see how they file through the first couple of corners. Obviously, the inside line will have the advantage of doing less distance around the racetrack. As Corey Abbott remains in the lead, Leighton Norgard will take second place. You'd imagine those two will continue to work together. Dustin Dewar will take third away from his teammate Jeff Green, but there will be that outside line resurgence as they have that run off the exit of the corner.
Yeah, Corey Abbott and Leighton Norgard are leading the way here in the early going of tonight's Billy Blanco 200. Of course, having that benefit of teammates being nose to tail. One thing that's a little different here at Daytona in this Gen 4 car tonight is you're not necessarily going to have the bump drafting that you would have in other cars, such as the Grand National Series last night, Trucks on Sunday, or Cup tomorrow. Daytona 500 coming up. Be sure to tune in for that as Jeff Green takes the lead. But the reason for a lack of bump drafting is the cars just don't hook up properly. They work like a wedge going underneath the rear end of the car ahead of you, and that can turn into absolute catastrophe if you do opt to bump draft. As we look a little bit further back, the field already spreading out a little bit. Mark Rabalis and Justin Wadsworth are the tail of that first pack. Then there's a gap back to Connor Thompson, Harrison Talon, and friends, as it looks like everyone just trying to find where they belong on the racetrack, finding a little bit of a safe space and going out for a little bit of a run.
Yeah, it's going to be important to try and stay with that lead pack though, because you don't want to end up getting yourself trapped a lap down. That'll be pretty much game over at a super speedway unless you find yourself in a lucky dog position. Guys like Andrew Hardcastle are just latching off to the back of the lead pack, Carlos Acosta as well. They know that they just want to survive, but they know that they also don't want to get lapped doing it. So it's important to be able to latch onto the back of the pack and make sure you're staying in contention.
That's exactly it. And just want to give a quick shout out tonight to our race controller, Ethan Burrell, up on the stand tonight. He's making the calls to help keep these drivers going in the right direction tonight. So shout out to him.
Yeah, absolutely. We love all the work that these race control guys do, making sure that we can host these races to the best quality that we can. Jeff Green now, maybe looking to get clear of Corey Abbott. He's about 500ths clear. I think he's going to pull down in front of Corey. Yep, there he goes with help from David Carpenter. Now David Carpenter's going to lead the outside line with Brandon Key in tow. Leighton Norgard won't be able to get quite as tucked up to his teammate as he might like now, being the third car in line. You're more susceptible to the accordion effect the further back in line that you go. As you see, 2 by 2 for the lead, up to, I believe it's 8th place there.
Yeah, pretty much all the way through to the Apollo Motorsports 87 of Andrew McCall, who's on the outside of our series opening winner, Jay Connor here, as everyone else single file a little bit now, starting to see the whole pack coming back together here, Will. So things changing just a little bit, and early shout out to our biggest mover of the day. It's Brenton D. Jones. He's up 13 spots on the day to position number 15. So Brent Jones doing a nice job here in the early goings. Tyler Skordensky up a handful of spots as well, as we see a couple drivers going the opposite direction, and Dylan Javier and Mitch Javier, both of those guys falling back, but they are at risk of potentially losing the draft if they fall a little bit too far back. So we'll keep an eye on these drivers and see what they can do as the race does develop. Already on lap number 6, another new leader. It's Dave Carpenter out to the race lead with help from Brandon Key. Key in the 8 machine. Of course, the 8 car being the winning number last night in the Robilas Photography Grand National Series with Josh Robin behind the wheel. So Brandon Key looking to go back to victory circle with that number 8 car tonight. We'll see what he can do as the drivers come around to take lap number 7. It's Carpenter, Green, Key, Abbott, and Daniel Martinez, the top 5. So multiple Daytona winners up inside the top 5 here in the early stages.
Yeah, it's been very clean so far though, very respectful. You've seen a little bit of slicing and dicing, guys like we saw Jake Connor about a lap ago, go from the bottom to the top, people just trying to find their place in the pack. But as you can see, Brandon Key just giving that slightest tap to Dave Carpenter. It's like performing open heart surgery with bumping these things, because one wrong move, you hit it slightly off center, you hit it a little too hard, and you're wrecking 25 cars and turning the race on its head. So you really have to be careful, and it really brings out the best super speedway drivers in my opinion, because it's such a fine edge between being able to push a guy to the win, get a line going, and junking the entire field.
Last thing you want to do is get turned on your head in a super speedway race. That's for sure, Will. I don't know about you, but I prefer to keep my head pointed straight up rather than down into the pavement. So hopefully these drivers can do that tonight as well.
Yeah, definitely. You want to be on your wheels rather than on your roof. But I am noticing a lot of resurgence from the outside lane. Obviously, Corey Abbott led the race in the early stages with help from Leighton Norgard. But as these guys have kind of gone through the race, obviously we're only a 10th of the way through, we had Jeff Green able to clear the outside lane, move in front of Corey Abbott. David Carpenter is very much holding his own in that second position, trying to clear Jeff Green, maybe put himself down to the inside lane. But obviously, typically speaking, it's safer. On top of being the shortest distance around the racetrack, if there is a crash, you have a lot of apron and a lot of runoff to retreat to should there be a crash in front of you. So maybe David Carpenter's just looking to get to the inside and secure a lead and secure a bit of safety. But it is interesting that the outside line looks a lot more hooked up than the inside line for the time being.
Yeah, definitely looks a little bit more uniform as these drivers able to get nose to tail and give each other that little bit of a momentum swing as they charge their way up towards the front. Looks like a bit of a shuffle towards the tail. That's Brandon Ultra up on the high side. He's going to go 3 wide. That's the 48 machine of Trey Holmes in the middle. The 3 of Dustin Haynes down on the inside nearly to the apron is Haynes, as we do have one on the apron itself. I believe that to be... Is that Brenton Jones? Yes, yeah, Brenton Jones in the 49. He's down on the apron, able to gather it back up. As here comes another 3 wide attempt. It's Daniel Martinez up to the high side.
Martinez going to be there with 3 wide for the lead. I think Brent Jones sensed a bit of danger there, that elite experience. Maybe thought this is a little bit too early for 3 wide running. Didn't want to be involved in that. So going 4 wide. Brandon Key into David Carpenter. It's a big one. They're all in it. Massive accident. Oh, it's a huge one. That is the entire field. Dustin Dewar's upside down.
Dusty! Oh no, call JD's Hilltop salvage. That car is trashed. So that was a big one. And it all started around that 3 wide that we saw up there around David Carpenter, Daniel Martinez. Brent Jones doesn't sound too happy, if I'm honest with you. Let's take a look and see what just happened. It all starts up around Dan Martinez, David Carpenter. As we go up to the chopper cam, you can see right there just contact between Carpenter and Key.
Yeah, Key very much forcing the issue between Jeff Green and David Carpenter there, with Daniel Martinez up by the wall. You're temporarily 4 wide. Daytona being a bit narrower than its sister track Talladega, not as wide, not as receptive to that 4 wide running. It's possible, but when you're in excess of 200 miles an hour, you have to be pretty perfect with it. Evidently they were not, and that's about 20 cars absolutely destroyed.
That was a huge wreck. You know what we have to do here, Will?
What's that?
We, sir, are going to ride on board with Dustin Durr.
Oh.
Well, folks, hold on. We are going to... I don't know that we have a gyro cam. Yes, we do. We're going gyro cam.
We're taking a tumble. Maybe have a sick bag by your side just in case. This could get ugly.
Up and Harry Talon carried him for a while. Here we go. Not as violent as I thought, and he drove away from this wreck. Dustin,
it wasn't a very big flip.
Dustin could be okay.
It wasn't very violent. He didn't really hit anything. He just kind of rolled.
He did just roll. As the whole field comes down for their pit stop, Will, let's step away and take ours. It's the Billy Blanco 200 live here on the Pit Pass Network ARCA Series Elite Racing Network. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now. For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. Racing, music, camping, it all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
We are back here. It's the Billy Blanco 200 live on the Elite Racing Network. My name is Robert Hill Jr. Joining me is William White, or Billy Blanco himself. And as you can see on the screen, lap number 11 tally issued to the 71 of David Carpenter. That's going to be his first at-fault incident of the day. Will, that was big.
That was massive. I don't think I've ever seen a crash that big in our racing, not for a while. I think it'd be easy to count who wasn't involved. I think, yeah, the front four kind of get away with it, and then everyone behind was either praying or rolling into the grass like Dustin Dewar was.
Yeah, definitely a big incident there. And you know what? Only 4 cars are still on pit road. Tyler Dixon, Dave Carpenter, Kyle Simmons, and Dustin Dewar. Of course, we saw Dustin Dewar go up and over, so that's probably a good reason. And look at this, Will.
Is he back out? He's back out.
He's leaving pit road.
That 32 looks rough.
The zombie.
He's not giving up yet.
Look at the rear end of this car. Look at the front end's total. Look at the rear end. Shout out Memory Lanes, Randy Big Balls Walters on the rear of that machine. That's wild. Dan Martinez, Jeff Green, Leighton Norgard, Corey Abbott, and Mark Rabilis, the top 5. Connor Thompson, Kendall No Player, Christopher Paff, Dylan Havier, and Josh Smith, the top 10.
Yeah, we've seen a big shuffle in the order around the kind of outskirts of that top 10 after that massive accident. You see we're lining up to go green again. Not very organised outside of the top 6 as Martinez and Green get on the loud pedal. See Norgard quite tucked up to the 83, the 21 not quite as tucked up to Jeff Green, so likely to see the inside line pull ahead quite a bit here. Mark Rabilis in P5, Connor Thompson in P6. See Martinez clears Jeff Green for the lead. We'll see if he moves up to try and block the one the outside line gets. See if Corey Abbott can clear Mark Rabilis. See if he
Gavin
can
Higgins wrecking.
I think they've saved it. Ooh, oh no, Rory Collins is around.
Brandon Key. Rory Collins involved. Everybody off the racetrack. Jay Connor now on the apron. Green. Brent Jones on the apron. Catastrophic here. Brent Jones coming pit side.
Yeah, that 49 looks rough. What was a fairly clean and not very eventful race for the first 10 laps. It's now become absolute mayhem. So I think front left tire on that 49 isn't actually attached properly, so that's probably not helping Brent Jones's case.
Dan Martinez out front. Jefe Verde, Jeff Green leading the high side. That's Corey Abbott pushing him with a Leighton Norgard on the inside, or as Jeff would call him, Alton, pushing him on the inside lane.
Yeah, Alton Norgard giving Daniel Martinez a brilliant push there. Martinez maintaining a gap of, handful of hundredths of a second. That's all you really need at a super speedway. It should just be a half car length, full car length clear. That's all you need to win one of these. See, Mark Rabilis gets a little bit loose there on the inside of that corner, not giving much help to Leighton Norgard. See the outside line much more organised. You see Kendall Noah play Andrew Hardcastle, the 57, or coming up towards the front of the pack now. The outside line likely to have a lot more momentum with more bodies helping the
Well,
way.
I gotta say, castles sound so much cooler when you say that word, so shout out to you, Billy Blanco.
Or maybe Andrew needs to run up front while I'll say his name more.
Shots fired to our teammate Andrew Hardcastle, letting him know that he's got to step it up and get to the front. Speaking of getting to the front, here comes Christopher Paff to the top 10 for the first time tonight. He's running in position number 10, just behind Dylan Javier, just ahead of Jess Story. Javier is a driver that's really shown massive gains already, just through the first 3 races, now into the 4th of the Pit Pass Network ARCA Series season. So shout out to him and the gains that he's made. And of course, Tyler Fody, one of his mentors and idols there. As Dan
Supremely
Martinez
impressive. Oh,
drops
Martinez,
down.
trouble.
That looks like an Alt F4 to me. It's Dana Martinez. Oh, Leighton Norgard gone.
Internet problems for the server. Leighton Norgard and Daniel Martinez both gone from the lead pack.
Has a Leighton Norgard reappeared? No, he is not.
He's not. That's interesting. That might be 2 disconnects.
Well, this is a little interesting here, Will.
Absolutely. This is very much becoming a race of survival in both the literal sense of, you know, not getting your car wrecked, but also people's internet seems to be dropping out. I don't know if maybe iRacing's running into some server issues on their side, or whether that's just a coincidence that Leighton Norgard and Daniel Martinez both had internet issues at the same time.
Yeah, very odd that has happened, but hopefully we can get that sorted out as soon as possible. Unfortunately, there for a Leighton, I don't believe he's reconnected to the server. Has he disconnected, Will?
Let's have a look. Yeah, so Daniel Martinez and Leighton Norgard both listed as connection dropped due to download packet loss. So Leighton Norgard twice, actually, for download packet loss. So that is definitely either a very coincidental double disconnect or something on iRacing's server side.
And what's really odd to me is Leighton never disconnected from Discord. So we'll see what happened there. Anyways, Jeff Green continues to lead us now. Michael Hossack gonna go a lap down the front of that machine. And it's seen better days, that's for sure, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Michael Hossack definitely got more than caught up in that first accident, but he's still there, he's still kicking.
He said he's heading pit side this time.
I do think that 24 car needs a little bit of attention from his Covered Bridge Racing pit crew there. So no surprise to see him come pit side. But I'm interested to see, now as that we've kind of settled into a rhythm, we've seen the pack go single file. They're not worried about position for the time being, as Jeff Green leads the way, Corey Abbott, Andrew Hardcastle, the top 3. Kendall Noah player actually moves to the outside, so single file no more. He's getting a little bit of side draft over Andrew Hardcastle, looking to make his way to lead. Obviously a former Daytona 500 winner, let's not forget. Actually, I think that's Josh Osborne there on the apron. It was a very mangled machine there. Not surprised to see him very much off the pace. But Kendall Noah player now has Jess Story in tow, helping his case.
Jess Story doing a nice job here.
Absolutely, yeah. It's that survival. We've seen a big mix-up. We've seen people like Andrew Hardcastle, Kendall Noah player,
I mean,
Jess Story, all come up through
the big thing to see, Will, big thing to see here is Kendall, 18 spots gained. Jess Story and Andrew Hardcastle up 8 and 10 spots respectively. Javier up 25, Rabilas 10, Path 24, Connor Thompson 7, Josh Smith 16.
Yeah, it's just, I think that first wreck mostly jumped up the field, but also that incident we had around like lap 15, lap 16, where you had a bunch of cars going off, but there was no caution called. Those that were able to still get through it and latch onto that lead pack have had massive gains. because they now don't have to worry about people behind them. I think it's only the top 12 roughly are in this lead pack.
Kendall
Play
just
with a bit of a
blinked.
big blink. Big blink there
Come
for
on,
Kendall.
Steve Meyer, plug it back in, buddy. Keep our servers going. We got to go here. We are 24
absolutely.
laps in. It's the Billy Blanco 200. My name's Robert Hill Jr. That's Billy Blanco over there. Kendall, ooh, big blink there. Kendall's blinking massive.
Big blink there from Kendall. Noah player. He's gone again. He thinks he's in Back to the Future. He's not. You're on iRacing. Fix up Kendall. Jeff Green, Corey Abbott now leading that inside line. More connection issues for Kendall, Noah player. I wonder if Ethan Burrell, race control, will call something about that. Maybe come over the radio to tell Kendall that he's blinking.
Warned him that he is blinking. So the 94 of player is under supervision here for a blinking issue.
Yeah, as you see, they're all single filed around.
He's now been
Kendall,
told to fall back.
Yeah, that is no surprise. And I think that is exactly what Kendall is doing.
Speaking of
Just
falling
back to
back
that first
here,
pack.
though, well, we do have multiple packs now. Top 10 altogether. Connor Thompson, the last car in this lead group. Then Trey Holmes leading a smaller group of cars. Then
Yeah,
Mitch
they're the two
Havier leading
exceptions.
another group. And then we go all the way back to Brandon Ultra, who's working with Caleb P. Cucumber, Rory Collins, Josh Osborne, and Michael Hosick, all out there running solo.
Yeah, that incident where there was no caution really spread out the field. You got that top 10 who managed to get through it. But now you see that pack 11th to 15th roughly led by Trey Holmes. They're single file. They're just trying to work together to try and catch this lead pack. As you see, they're fairly organised. But the top 10, they're single filing out pretty nicely. Corey Abbott right on the bumper of Jeff Green. Andrew Hardcastle sticking nicely with them, and everyone behind them in sympathy. There's not a lot of dicing and slicing. There's not a lot of lane changing. I say that Andrew Hardcastle to the outside of his teammate Corey Abbott, maybe looking for the lead. He did have a bit of a run, but I don't know if he's going to have enough help to get past Jeff Green. He's up into second. Path comes with him. They have just lapped a Leighton Norgard, so maybe he's looking for some help from a teammate there. I'll have to wait and see.
Someone just hit the wall.
You see they're now coming up on Michael Hossack, who's a lap down. They're going to have to get to the inside. Leighton Norgard moves up. He's obviously not on the lead lap, but he will be helping his teammate Andrew Hardcastle try and get to the lead of this race. Jeff Green has obviously led for quite some time now. We'll see if he chooses to try and block or whether he just lets Hardcastle have it for now and then maybe tries to get him back later.
If I'm Jeff Green, though, Will, I want to get in line at some point here, because all I'm doing leading this race, aside from logging laps led, of course, is burning fuel. You don't want to burn all of your race fuel because you're not going to be able to maintain your position. You're going to have to pit a lot sooner than anybody else, and you're really going to end up hindering yourself a little bit. As we'll watch this pack back here, looks like they were getting a little bit racy as Carlos Acosta nearly made contact with Brandon Ultra. The second car one lap down, as you can, Brandon Key working with Josh Osborne. They're trying to sort themselves out at the back. A little bit of trouble there as Andrew Hardcastle takes over the race lead. He's got help from a Leighton Norgard, like you mentioned. That's Jeff Green and Corey Abbott down on the inside. Abbott Motorsports looking very strong here tonight, despite a Leighton's connection issues. Still up here in the front pack, helping these guys out and working towards the lead with Andrew Hardcastle leading the way.
Yeah, we've seen the Abbott Motorsports guys all season long linking up really well, even on the non-plate tracks. They've been helping each other, making each other faster. And now we're seeing it manifested on the high banks of Daytona with Andrew Hardcastle leading probably his first ever laps in the ARCA series, I want to say. He definitely doesn't find himself up front too often, so it's great to see him up front here.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic to see Andrew Hardcastle out front. Like we mentioned before the race tonight, he's a driver that could really, obviously, knock on wood here, Will. Don't want to jinx anything. Oh, Oh, this is gonna get weird, or not weird. This is gonna
get
get
dicey.
sketchy. This is stupid. Why are we
They
doing
made
this?
it
And we made it. Oh my
forward.
gosh.
They made it. They've broken up a little bit. But Leighton Norgard still with Andrew Hardcastle. They might both clear off turn 4, though Corey is right with Jeff Green. Andrew
What were
Hardcastle
we
logging
just
and-
doing there, Will?
Yeah, I think Brandon Key on the low side getting lapped, Josh Osborne on the high side. We ended up having to split the middle. So you had Jeff Green having to come up, Andrew Hardcastle having to come down. That could have very easily resulted in another massive accident.
Yeah, Andrew
But-
ended up having to go down on Jeff Green there, and luckily for them, they were able to get through that without too much of a mess. But wow, that could have been really bad.
Yeah, that could have been horrible, but luckily they kept it straight, they kept it clean. We've still got this top 10 all vying for the lead of the race as we get towards the halfway point. Obviously, we've had a fairly long green flag run up to this point, closing in on 20 laps for this run. Do you know how much a full fuel tank goes, Robert?
I don't actually have that information, Will. I do believe we're looking about 35 or so laps for these guys, maybe just a little bit less than that.
Very interesting. Obviously, the halfway point will be
So-
lap 40. They will have saved some fuel under caution. Guys
Yeah,
like
we're
Andrew would have
close.
saved fuel in the pack. So it'll be interesting to see whether, as soon as they hit that 40-41 mark, whether the teammates start diving to pit. Whereas Leighton Norgard goes to the inside of Andrew Hardcastle. Obviously, Leighton not on the lead lap, but still trying to unlap himself as he's now 3 laps down, as opposed to 4 laps down, being pushed by Jeff Green.
And
So Andrew
And Will, you
being
might
shuffled out a little
think
bit.
here that being 3 laps down, okay, this is the end of the world. It's going to be so hard to get that back. But you get a couple cautions in a row, all of a sudden you're that car that's finding themselves back on the lead lap and back in contention as we are. I'm seeing guys getting a little single file here on the inside. Oh, that's
Yeah, I
because we're
think
going
it's,
3 wide with some lap cars.
Oh,
That's,
yeah.
That's what it
Talon
is.
and
Talon.
Foti, half, almost
Franklin
into them.
Foti, Frank using lessons learned from Harry to go a lap down. That's never usually a good idea.
Shots fired at Harrison Talon. Commentators really on smoke tonight, huh?
Absolutely. Big Harrison Talon fans up here. Hey, shout out to Harry. He won a duel last week
That is very true, he did win the
in the Belly Up Cup Series. Got to get that one right. That's new. Speaking of the Belly Up Cup Series, tomorrow night, Daytona 500 right here on the Elite Racing Network, 7:30. That one is going to start.
Yeah, very
Should
excited to
be
see
a
who
good
can
show.
win that one. A lot of new guys making their way into the race for the first time. So it'll be very interesting to see rookies, a lot of returning faces. Always a good one to watch. The Great American Elite Race, as it's known.
The Great American Elite Race brought to you by Home Place Beer Company and Belly Up Sports. So that should be one heck of a show as we're going to lap another car. That is Caleb
59
Pecumer.
car. Made it
Pecumer
around
going to go
cleanly.
another lap down.
You see Hardcastle again, back to the lead. Jess Story is giving him an amazing, not really a push really, but it's definitely giving him a lot of help on that outside lane there. See, I think Hardcastle's going to stay to that outside lane and stay low to Story, seeing if he can get them both clear, maybe make a bit of friends on this stupid speedway action. As Andrew doesn't really need to worry about getting past the Leighton. Obviously, a Leighton not on the lead lap, he only has to really worry about getting past Jeff Green.
And this is a benefit right now for these Avid Motorsports guys having a Leighton leading the inside. It's allowing Andrew to control this race currently without necessarily having to do too much. As you may have just heard a truck decide to park itself outside of my house, and that was quite loud, as here comes Hardcastle to the outside of a Leighton Norgard once again. They're going to be side by side. The pushers are Jess Story on the high side, Jeff Green on the inside, and that's the 57 of Dylan Havier on the high side. Corey Abbott in the 21 on the inside row. Mark Rabilis up there as well. Shout out to him and RabilisPhoto.com. RabilisPhoto.com for all your photography needs.
Yeah, as we head towards the halfway point now, wondering if maybe Andrew Hardcastle, Jeff Story, going to have a Christopher Path want to start getting down to the inside line, just make the lives a little bit easier when those green flag pit stops come, because it's probably not going to be long now. And you know, if you're on the outside, you can't really pit from the second lane unless you're very coordinated with those around you.
Yeah, we're going to keep an eye here and see when these drivers do opt to come down pit road. Obviously, don't want to jinx anything here, Will, but this race is starting to give the vibes of potentially going green to the end from here. Don't know that that's going to happen, especially with a potential green flag pit stop still to come. We've seen issues with pit stops every night so far in Speed Weeks, so we'll see how that goes for these guys. But as they all go by, Brandon Ultra, Kendall Noah player, starts to his blinking once again. We'll see if he can get that sorted out. Unfortunate for the 94, but he is at the tail of that lead pack, not really causing any issues. As here comes
to the
Jess.
inside of Andrew Hardcastle for the lead.
Jess Story to the inside. He's going to clear Hardcastle. Now gets pushed by Norgard. Norgard going to come up to try to work with Hardcastle again. Story goes up to block Norgard back to the inside. Leighton Norgard doesn't want to be a lap down, doesn't want to have to rely on the lucky dog, as he's going to continue to be the lead car on the inside. Jeff Green behind him. Jess Story leading the high lane.
Yeah, see Jess Story with a big power move there to the lead temporarily. Leighton Norgard trying to work against him there, seeing if he could help his teammate Andrew Hardcastle, but not too much avail. But obviously still in a good position. They're still up there in the top 3, top 4. They have teammates, they have help, they have friends. There's not much to worry about for the time being. I think Jess Story mainly did that just to try and get to the inside for the sake of pit stops. Obviously track position, hugely important as well.
We are coming up on more lap traffic. That's Tyler Skordensky that just went a lap down. Andrew McCall, Dustin Haynes, Justin Wadsworth, the next couple of cars to go a lap down. And as you can see, not a huge gap between the leaders and those lap cars as we look out the nose of the Jess Story machine. He's leading the high lane. You can see off in the distance, that is a pack of race cars. This could get interesting as we have to navigate by about 7 or 8 cars as we come to halfway. This time by Will, 40 in the books, 40 to go. It's the Billy Blanco 200 right here at Daytona International Speedway.
Yeah, as you see now with that move from Jess Story, it's allowed the inside lane to actually gain a little bit more momentum. Jeff Green's going to lead that lap at the end of lap 40. We'll see Andrew Hardcastle, Jess Story still holding strong on the outside lane. Corey Abbott very much minding his own business. He's been in the top 5 all race long. But I think he's just worried about safety making it to those potential green flag stops. I think these guys now know with how spread out the packs are, the most likely time for a caution is going to be during those green flag pit stops. Someone might overcook it on the entry and hit the wall, come back up. You know, you might see cars colliding. You might see cars spinning on pit road. That's your most likely time to see a yellow for the remainder of this race.
Well, here we go. Big lap traffic coming up.
Obviously, Brandon Keane, Josh Osborne again on the inside. But I don't think that's going to cause too much trouble for these guys on the whole. They've been pretty clean getting past that traffic. A little bit sketchy there with Half and Key getting a little bit too close for comfort, but these guys have been pretty good with navigating back markers. So I think if they can make it through a green flag pit stop cycle, we could definitely see this race going green to the end, which could really shake up the order of this race and obviously the championship as well.
One thing to point out here, the second pack has absolutely come back to the leaders. Trey Holmes was leading the second pack. Now he's just behind Kendall Noah player. So we now have, I believe, 15 cars all together here in the lead pack and a bunch of lap cars there as well. So what was a small pack out here for a bit of a Sunday drive now has grown to an entire community. And hopefully we stay clean here as Leighton Norgard continues to be the lead car on the inside. Jeff Green is the race leader. Corey Abbott second, now getting pushed by Jess Story. He's going to now push the Jeff Green machine as a Leighton Norgard. He's just trying to do whatever the heck he can to stay out front here, Will. He's working his tail off here. He's hoping for some yellows. We may get some now with so many cars together, especially approaching pit stops. We're about 30 laps into this run here, so guys have to start thinking about coming down pit road. I don't think we're quite there yet, but we may be soon as we're coming up on more lap traffic. This is going to continue to shuffle things around here. Now Corey Abbott to the race lead. He's going to push Leighton Norgard and have Jeff Story behind him. Now Jeff Green going to be looking for some friends. He's all alone on the inside with a gap back to, I believe that's Dylan Havier. No, that's not Havier. That's Christopher Paff, the next car on the racetrack behind Jeff Green. So we'll see what happens here as Abbott leads us here, coming to lap 45 of 80 here today, Will.
Yeah, Jeff Green seems to have no help at the minute. The Jeff Story does go low, looking for the lead ahead of Corey Abbott, maybe trying to get ahead of Leighton Norgard as well. But when Leighton made that move on Jeff Green had no one with him. Corey Abbott went with his teammate, put himself in the lead. Then the 57 of Dylan Havitt came with them, so Jeff Green was very much a sitting duck on the inside lane. But now Jeff Story has come down. He's going to give Jeff Green that slipstream. See if Jeff Green can maybe push Jeff Story to the lead of the race. He's on the inside of Corey Abbott. He is scored in the lead at the moment. Leighton Norgard obviously trying to stay ahead of all of these guys to try and remain 3 laps down as opposed to 4 laps down, but not too much avail for the time being as Jeff Green back up into second place as they navigate past the 24 car of Michael Harsack. Jeff Story now leading this race for the first time.
That is 5 laps down for Michael Hossack. One more lap and he is done for the day with the 6 lap rule. Jess Story leads the way on the inside. He's got Jeff Green pushing him. That's a Leighton Norgard up top. Corey Abbott, the pusher there, as Dylan Havier and Justin Wadsworth are the other 2 pushers on the track. Wadsworth a lap down, currently in the lucky dog position. So if a caution were to come out right now, a Leighton Norgard would not get a lap back because he's behind Jess Story. If he gets ahead of Jess Story, he'll get to do a full lap around the racetrack and tack onto the tail of the field. Meanwhile, Justin Wadsworth would be the car to get his lap back as the lucky dog. But 47 in the books, 34 to go here. These drivers doing absolutely everything that they can to try to find their way to the front and to stay there as we're getting down to the later stages of this race. Just looking from the stands here tonight, look at that group of cars together. That's your lead pack with a bunch of lap cars together. Pretty cool camera shot from up in the stands heading towards turn number 1. As we head back down, it is Jess Story and Jeff Green still leading the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, while we may have said around 10, 20 laps ago that this race might go green to the end, the more that we see we're slicing and dicing. Oh, 1 in the wall, 2 in the wall there. They keep it straight. Just as I talk about how clean it was 10, 20 laps ago, we were saying that it could go green to the end. But now, as they slice and dice more, as they start making power moves, trying to get to the front of the pack. See Josh Osborne in the grass there, no caution.
We'll take a look on the Revivalist Photography replay machine. Incident with himself and Brandon Key. You can see the Osborne machine hitting that apron a couple times. And he's going to come down across Brandon Key's nose. Key did nothing wrong there.
Sizable hit there for the 07. Keeps it straight, no yellow. Also, that's
still on the
huge
apron.
Damage to that car.
Josh Smith on pit road.
Yeah, we'll see the likelihood of caution growing ever more as they get more feisty towards the front of the pack. Obviously, have your lapped cars dotted around in and around that pack, Leighton Norgard, Justin Wadsworth. They are playing a massive role in this as they've kind of got their own races in themselves. Jeff Story in the wall. They just about
Jess's story
save it.
just got a little rockier there as he
Corey
clips
Abbott
the
now in the lead of the
outside.
race. And he's going to clear for the lead. Jess Story is going to have to fall back into second place. Big for Leighton Norgard as well. If he continues to lead that pack, obviously Corey Abbott will not challenge him for the lead of that pack, you would imagine.
Take a look and see what happened to Jess Story. He seemed a little upset. Oh!
That would be why. The
That's
07
Tyler
Tyler
Skordensky. That could have been really bad there. Uh-oh, I think Jeff Green had an issue. Jeff Green, Dylan Havier.
No yellow. Loads of single car incidents that the game isn't calling as a yellow, so there is a yellow out. Changes everything. Corey Abbott remains in the lead. Mark Biles now up to second.
Let's back this up, see what happened to Hefe.
Big stack up gets into the back of Jess Story.
Jeff Story
comes down to 57. Very unfortunate there for Jeff Green.
See what happened here with Jeff. I think he might come back on the racetrack to get going again, and the sim's gonna read it. Yeah, the sim reads it as if Jeff Green has stopped right there, and that's what triggers the yellow flag. Corey Abbott, the race leader. What we're gonna do, Will, is we're gonna step away here. He's way ahead of the pace car, but we're going to step away real quick, take our pit stop, and when we come back, we'll talk to Corey Abbott, the race leader, and see how he's doing here in the middle stages of the Billy Blanco 200. Don't go anywhere. This is the Elite Racing Network.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now. For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. Racing, music, camping, it all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
We are back. It's the Billy Blanco 200, and we are now joined by the driver that finds himself in position number 2. It's Corey Abbott. And Corey, great start to the race here tonight for Abbott Motorsports. Aside from a connection issue, of course, with a Leighton Norgard, you guys have been out front pretty much from the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, it's a real bummer Leighton got dropped. It's pretty cool, though, that he was able to slot in front of us and get that lap back, essentially. Yeah, it's been wild, to say the least. This has been a chaotic race.
Now, obviously, a long way to go, still less than 30 laps remaining, but what's your feeling here? What are you going to need to do to get this done?
Oh, I have no idea. I can't even tell you. I have no clue. We're just going to wing it and see what happens.
Well, Corey, before we let you go, any sponsors or shout-outs you want to give?
I got to thank the Abbott Motorsports guys. My sponsors, Six Sigma Sim Racing, Ledge.gg, Tanks.gg, Jimmy Hayden Photography, and you guys.
Well, best of luck to you, Corey, and we hope to talk to you at the end of the race.
Thanks, guys.
And Will, now standing by with you, Daniel Martinez, after early issues.
Hey, Daniel Martinez, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, man.
So obviously some early issues in the race here. Now have you scored 30th and out of the race in a minute. Just explain kind of your perspective of the early issues that you encountered there.
Uh, yeah, I'm not really sure what happened, whether it was a internet connection on my end or a server issue, but I was just kind of riding in the lead, happy to just barely miss that first wreck, and then all of a sudden everyone disappeared around me, and all of a sudden I just got kicked out of the server. So not really sure, but really sucks.
Yeah, obviously up to that point you were looking really strong up the front, working with the guys like, like Norgard, all those guys. Just up to that point, how did you feel? How was, were you comfortable up at the front? Were you thinking you could have a chance to win this thing?
Oh yeah, for sure. I was having a lot of fun, running up front. Car was definitely a handful with the extra power it has, but I was feeling really comfortable. Really wanted to get to the lead and was happy to be up there, and was just kind of trying to fall into a groove and log some laps. Unfortunately, I just didn't get that chance.
Yeah, well, obviously a hugely unfortunate incident, and it's going to be an unfortunate result. But any sponsors, people you want to thank?
Yeah, big shout out to first off Pit Pass Network. Thank you guys for sponsoring ARCA and letting us have some fun on these Tuesday nights. And big shout out to JD Designs for always making some great paint schemes for me. And Fueled Up Racing, big support as always. Thanks to them. And then thank you guys again for the broadcast you guys do.
No worries. Well, we'll let you go now. Best of luck for the rest of the season and whatever you're competing here in Elite. Hopefully we'll be talking to you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Well, that was Dan Martinez. Unfortunate result for him as things are getting a little hairy back here. No, we're not talking Harry Talon. We're talking Connor Paff and Carlos Acosta. As Christopher Paff going to go out to the race lead.
Yeah, Mark Rabat's got a lightning start there. Took off to about half a second lead, but obviously that's worked against him. That's how it's going to be at Super Speedways. You get those big runs, it just means that the pack trailing are just going to eat.
Who's the yellow car right there? Robert Smith?
I believe that's Robert Smith up in 5th place.
Have we said his name even once tonight? I don't think so.
I don't think so
Maybe
either.
on the starting grid only. And now he finds himself in the top 5. Oof.
Yeah. That's a massive mix-up here of all
that's
the
getting a little wild.
Carnage we've had up here. Christopher Paff and Carlos Acosta leading the inside and outside respectively. Obviously, 2nd place on the grid. Oh, sorry, was he pole sitter? Did Corey get pole? Corey got pole, didn't he?
Corey was the pole sitter. He did sit on the pole tonight.
I forget.
He's gonna let you hear about it. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, no, he's gonna bite my ear off for that one for getting very qualified, especially when he got the pole. Obviously, he's been the only one really to be up here the entire time, and he's now leading the outside line as Paff and Acosta both find themselves on the low side. The 98 now going to be helping Corey Abbott try and get back to the lead. See a little blink again from Kendall Knoll player, seemingly not able to kick those internet issues. Yeah, pretty big blink.
But Corey Abbott,
he's not up front with back.
Corey Abbott looks like he is going to go out to the lead with help from Robert Smith. The 98 machine of Smith, now the pusher as player. Looks like player disconnecting from the game here as game over for that player now.
Yeah, hugely
Carlos Acosta on the inside, one of our colleagues here at the Elite Racing Network. He fills in every once in a while, produces the IndyCar series currently. Whoa, we just had a wreck.
Yellow is out. Who's involved in that one?
I think it involved Rory Collins involved. Was that a solo incident for Rory?
He's got turned.
I think he got hooked by Kendall maybe. Oh, a Leighton
came off it online.
I think a Leighton got spooked by Kendall.
Yeah, that's really an odd incident, very unfortunate.
Yeah, it's too bad there.
Gave room, but I think they both just kind of converged on each other with the blinking from Kendall. Being just interested to see how race control Ethan Burrell calls that one. Obviously, Corey Abbott now remaining in the lead as he has done for the majority of this race, as we come to the third yellow of the evening. Most guys came down pit road last time, and with only a handful of laps in the books, you wouldn't imagine that they'd be coming back down, bar some repairs that need to be attended to by the pit crew. So Corey Abbott likely to restart this race in the lead when the green flag comes back out.
Well, Will, I think it's time for another interview, and I think this might be his first interview ever with the Elite Racing Network. Let's talk to Frank Fody. Frank Fody, it's Robert and Will up in the booth. You got a copy? Will, I don't think we have Frank.
I don't think we do either.
All right, you know what? Let's keep it in the family. Let's talk to Tyler. Tyler's hanging out. Hey, Tyler, it's Bob Mountain up in the booth. You got a copy?
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
We tried to talk to the old man, but he wasn't listening.
He doesn't know where he's at right now. I'm working with him all.
What's going on with the team here tonight, buddy? How you guys doing out there?
It's shambles, dude. It's crazy. Not totally shambles yet. Dylan Haver and Dixon, they're flying the flag for us right now, 11th and 12th. They've survived it all. We're trying to work something out here, see if we can get a top 10, top 5 with those two. The rest, it's crazy right now. Mitch, I'm trying to get him the lucky dog. My Pops is a couple laps down. Caleb's been destroyed, so it's just people asking me questions. What do I do? This, that. I'm up and down all over the place, but I got my hopes on Dylan and Dixon here to get it done for us.
Now, what's harder, guiding a bunch of rookies or winning the Daytona 500 yourself?
No, this is way harder. I got like 6 people talking at me at the same time. I'm flipping cameras. Yeah.
Oh man, you're a busy guy.
Yep.
Will, you got any questions for Coach Fody here before we let him go?
Yeah, I'm actually curious. Obviously, Frank now finds himself 21st, 22nd, couple laps down. With only 22 laps to go, what do you think Frank has to do to get himself back on the lead lap, back into contention, to get himself a good result here?
Yeah, unfortunately, we're running out of laps, and I really wish we were just one down with him, but I'm afraid that everyone that's 2 laps and worse is kind of going to be stuck where they're at, just with the laps winding down. So, I mean, if people keep crashing out, we'll take those spots, obviously, but I got hope in Mitch here. He's only 1 down. We got a chance here. He's racing 4 guys for the lucky dog, so he might have a shot, but for the rest of the guys, we're just going to try and just run it out here and get what spots we can with the crashes.
Well, Tyler, let's get you back down there for this restart so you can guide those guys through.
Yeah, man, appreciate it.
All right, best of luck to your boys. That's Tyler Fody, coach, here tonight.
Yeah, offering that multi-time champion expertise to his father and rest of his teammates at Lake North Motorsports. I'm sure they're very appreciative of that. Obviously, Tyler Fody not racing tonight because I'm sure he'd lap the field with his eyes shut, but you know.
Yeah, he's not eligible because he's too good.
Yeah, he's far too good for us.
As we get set to go green, Corey Abbott, Carlos Acosta, Robert Smith, Christopher Paff, and Jess Story, the top 5. Then it's Mark Robilis, Andrew Hardcastle, Trey Holmes, Jaden Racimus, and Jeff Green, the top 10. If we do get another caution here, Will, our next guest will be Andrew Hardcastle, driver of the number 22 machine out of Abbott Motorsports.
I'll be very interested to talk to Andrew, see what his outlook is on this thing. Obviously, he waves that survival flag. He loves to just sit in the back, but he's been up front for a good chunk of this race. He finds himself 4th on the outside line now coming to this restart. And I think he knows that he can actually he can win this race. So I want to know if he's ditching that survival philosophy, whether he's going completely full tilt now, trying to get up there with his teammate Corey, seeing if Alayton can help him at all. Obviously, you see him just at the back of the pack there on the outside. So obviously, he's never won a race in the Elite Racing League before. I'm sure he's desperate to write that one off his bucket list. So this is going to get dicey.
Yeah, as long as there's not a hole in his bucket at the bottom of the sea, we'll be all right. Andrew Hardcastle out there in position number 7 looking to get it done here as the pace car looks like he's getting just about done here with his visit to the racetrack. Now, we're less than 25 to go, Will. Are you sticking with your race pick of Andrew Hardcastle?
I think I am. He has done what he usually does, and that's survive. He's found himself up at the front. He's dodged all the accidents. His internet has held up, which apparently is a big issue tonight. So hopefully he can grab that first ever win. But obviously we've got Corey up there looking for a second win of the season as well. Obviously he is the joint points leader. Jeff Green, his rival, finds himself P9, so he's got a bit of a cushion in that regard as he gets into a very good restart with Robert Smith and Carlos Acosta behind him. So yeah, there's a lot of races in races.
Absolutely, as we are green once again. The top three getting out to a bit of a jump over the rest of them. It's Corey Abbott, Robert Smith, and Carlos Acosta, the top three.
Yeah, we can see guys like Jeff Story, Trey Holmes gonna have a big run. Trey Holmes to the outside in that 48 car. He's gonna have a monster bit of momentum. Corey Abbott might look to jump to the outside. Jeff Green already up to P4. He has sliced through the field perfectly.
Here comes Trey Holmes to the lead.
Trey Holmes, the top figure under such a big lead. Trey Holmes had such a massive run. He just pulled Jeff Green and Mark Robalis and Christopher Paff with him. Jeff Green out to the inside looking for the lead. He knows how important it is to be ahead of Corey Abbott. He can't let him get a sniff of that championship lead. We talk about those races in races. What will Corey and Jeff do to get ahead of the other in the championship fights? Marco Ballas moves low. Trey
this
Holmes
is wild.
Hanging. There's Christopher Paff. Let's go three-way. They're beating and banging for third place. Don't know if Paff will have much help on the high side. Here comes Andrew Hardcastle to the back of Trey Holmes. He's going to look to get into the top 5.
Coming off of 4, Holmes beats off Paff here. He's going to be able to work his way to position number 4 on the outside of Robert Smith. Smith on the inside. Holmes now having help from Andrew Hardcastle. Hardcastle back into the top 5. He's going to get to the rear end of Trey Holmes and try pushing that 48 machine up alongside Hardcastle's Abbott Motorsports teammate in Corey Abbott. Abbott on the inside. He's pushing Jeff Green. Coming to 17 to go this time by. It's Jeff Green, Trey Holmes, Corey Abbott, Andrew Hardcastle, and Robert Smith, the top 10.
Yeah, these guys are going absolutely 110% now for the rest of the race. Andrew Hardcastle pushing Trey Holmes to the lead, fighting for those final podium positions. We'll have to see which line becomes dominant as they all look fairly organised. You see Hardcastle pushing Holmes, Abbott pushing Green, with everyone falling fairly uniformly in single file behind them. Jeff Green just holding it for the time being, but here comes Trey Holmes on the outside. He might be able to clear if Andrew Hardcastle gives him enough help. About half a tenth of a second lead, but Jeff Green's going to come back, doing the shorter distance around the racetrack on the inside there. Corey Abbott with help from Carlos Acosta, but the outside line actually looks a lot more formed up. See Christopher Paff right on the back of Andrew Hardcastle, who is pushing Trey Holmes as much as he can. Corey Abbott giving a great shove to Jeff Green as well.
Let's take a little pause right here, okay? Let's look at this top 10. Trey Holmes, elite winner. Jeff Green, elite winner. Corey Abbott, elite winner. Hardcastle, no wins. Carlos, no wins. Christopher Paff, no wins. Mark Robilis, Robert Smith, Jeff Story, Tyler Dixon may have a win. But most of this top 10 has never won in the Elite Racing League, and they're about 15 and a bit away as Andrew Hardcastle nearly digs himself into the dirt here on the outside of Jeff Green. Trey Holmes was able to clear. Who's that? Is that Jaden Racimus joining the high lane?
They're 3 wide for about 10th. That's Skordetsky, Havit, and Racimus there.
Oh!
They're wrecking. Racimus into the wall. 57 into the wall. They're going to keep it straight.
That's Dylan Javier up into the wall. Sorry, Kid Rasamai. We just jinxed the heck out of you.
That is really unfortunate for Jaden. So Jesse, father, has got his head in his hands looking at that. Andrew Harkos, I don't think he has much help on the outside there, but he is hanging on as much as he can. This is Christopher Paff in tow. They see him just come into frame there. So we'll see what they can do on the outside, but it definitely looks like all inside lane for the time being. They look super organised with Trey Holmes leading the way.
Things getting a little shaky. 14 to go. Trey Holmes, Jeff Green, Corey Abbott, Andrew Hardcastle, and Carlos Acosta, the top 5. Dylan Javier enters pit road. He is going to likely call it a day after making that contact with the outside wall. Trey Holmes continuing to lead. Here comes Hardcastle on the outside. Help from Christopher Paff. We'll see if Paff's able to get him back up there.
Going to go 3 wide. 3 wide for 3rd place. We'll see how much health Paff has. He has Robert Smith behind him. But Andrew
Smith in the wall.
has his teammate, Leighton Norgard.
Contact.
They reckon Paff's in the wall.
Wow.
Hits Norgard. They keep it straight. They're going to be okay for the time being. You see the 0-4.
The Intimidator, Leighton Norgard coming into play.
Yes, he's trying to give some help to his teammate Andrew Hardcastle. But to no avail with that incident with Christopher Paff. Hardcastle again all by himself. You see Acosta moves to the high side. He's going to try and give the Texans some help on the outside lane.
Giddy up, Cowboy. It's time to ride. Here comes Andrew Hardcastle on the outside. Carlos Acosta, the pusher. On the inside, it's Holmes and Green. The 22 and the 02 on the outside. The 48 and the 38 on the inside. Let's see what these boys can do. Coming to 12 to go. We got a dozen laps remaining. Andrew Hardcastle leads.
Now. Closing in on that point where these drivers will just say it's go time. There's no more trying to survive. They want every position they can get. Some of these boys probably already in there.
Oh, contact!
There's Andrew Hardcastle. There's contact.
No!
He's in the wall.
He's in the wall.
He's in the wall. He might have to dash to
no.
the right side of that 22 car. He's going to try and stay with the lead pack. Heartbreak for Andrew Hardcastle, who was so close to potentially winning his first ever race. He could still win it if he was able to latch on. They're still beating and banging.
It ain't over yet. They're still beating, that's for sure. As Leighton Norgard trying to go to the high side. 11 to go. Trey Holmes, Jeff Green, Carlos Acosta, Corey Abbott, and Tyler Dixon, the top 5.
Hardcastle is still latched on.
6th through 10th here is wild. Jess Story, Mark Robilas, Justin Wadsworth, Robert Smith, Andrew Hardcastle. What?
Hardcastle already back to the high side. He is not giving up one bit. He knows he can still win this thing.
He's got Franklin Fody on the inside. There's Robert Smith now on the inside. Hardcastle. He is not giving up whatsoever. He knows he's still got a shot. He's not out of this yet. He's just going to need a little bit of help to get there. Robert Smith going to go up behind him. Trey Holmes leads now. 9 laps remaining. Keep that 10, actually. We don't want to be done yet. We got 10 to go. It's Holmes and Acosta. Carlos Acosta to the high side.
Obviously, Carlos Acosta has never won before. I don't think Jess Story has either. 2 drivers.
Jess might have won on PlayStation, but we don't talk about that no more. We're here on iRacing.
In the gap.
Oh, lap car. Is that Andrew Hardcastle?
He's bringing Andrew Hardcastle with him. Hardcastle's in the lead.
Oh my gosh.
On his inside of Leighton Norgard. Absolutely saving Hardcastle's race. It's Leighton Norgard not leading the race, but he's leading the inside line. Andrew Hardcastle leading the outside.
With help from Robert Smith. This is insanity where these lap cars going to go.
Collins and Key on the inside.
This is insanity. Trey Holmes.
Corey might be able to come up and help him. Corey might just be stuck on the inside.
Well, this is wild. What a race to have your name on in the Billy Blanco 200.
I am so proud. I was originally thinking you have too much control over this series, but I'm glad you named it after me. I'm proud of this. This is some of the best racing I've ever seen. Who's that guy in the corner?
It's you!
Is it? I don't know that guy. I think that was the guy who spun on pit road in the Xfinity Series race.
Oh, probably.
I don't know.
As we go around, Michael Hosick. Believe that'll end his night. Trey Holmes, Jeff Green, Andrew Hardcastle, Corey Abbott, Tyler Dixon, the top 5.
He's Abbott Motorsports Day looking incredibly strong.
What a night. What a night for Abbott. Even if they don't get it done here tonight, this is a night to be proud of. As Jeff Green goes 3 wide.
Trey Holmes gets stuck on the bottom. Jeff Green's going to go back to the bottom lane, you would imagine.
The homie Trey Holmes.
Oh, Trey Holmes gets loose. He saves it. Corey Abbott now looking for the lead of the race behind Jeff Green.
Is
Andrew
Leighton gonna stay in front?
Place.
Is Leighton gonna stay in front? Is he gonna work as a blocker for Andrew Hardcastle? They're coming up on another Lake Norman car. I do believe that might be Caleb Pecumer. No, that's Dylan Javier. He's gonna go another lap down. As here comes a Leighton Norgard on the high side, pulling Andrew Hardcastle. Once again, Corey Abbott, Jeff Green, Trey Holmes, the 3 cars leading on the inside. This is
up on the inside there.
Insane.
Andrew Hardcastle, who was in the wall about 4 or 5 laps ago, within the space of 2 laps, immediately came back and led the race for a split second with help from his teammate Leighton Norgard, who might not be up the front on the scoring board, but we've seen him at the front of these packs pretty much all race.
He's been a big story in this race, despite being numerous laps down.
Absolutely. If it wasn't for that internet dropout, he could very much be another contender for the win. The Abbott Motorsports boys have shown incredible speed tonight, as they have done all season in this series. See Leighton Norgard trying to pull Hardcastle to the lead.
Here we go.
And 2 by 2 all the way through this leading pack. Hardcastle just inches ahead for a split second.
Coming to 5 to go. Barney the Flagman gonna get all 5 fingers in the air. It's Jeff. Oh, Robert Smith to the outside wall. Save it.
He does save it. Corey Abbott pushing Jeff Green back to the lead. You see Jeff Green gets a car length clear.
Caution!
There's a caution. Brandon Key may be involved.
No.
Someone's facing backwards. There's a Wrangler car, I believe.
Oh, that's Dustin Haynes.
So unfortunate.
This is heartbreaker for these guys, man.
Now what do you do?
Oh,
he just gets into the back of Andrew McCall.
He McCalled him all the way to a caution flag. Man, I don't know that we could talk to Andrew right now.
I don't know. I think he might be too focused. I don't know. Sure, cool.
You know who we got to talk to?
Who do we got to talk to?
A Leighton Norgard.
Hey, come on, let's talk to him later.
A Leighton Norgard. It's Robert Hill and Billy Blanco up in the booth. You got a copy? Oh.
Where is he?
He doesn't have a copy.
No copy.
Oh, I was pressing the wrong button. Sorry.
Hi.
So you've been the story of the late stages of this race. Despite being numerous laps down, you've been the guy to decide who's going to the race lead. Now you're going to have to fall to the rear. What are you going to do to get up there and help your boys out?
The same things I've been doing to get up to the front. I've been trying to get back to the lead lap the hard way, and I'm running out of time. I don't think it's going to happen at all, but did what I could.
Now, obviously, you fell out of the race earlier. How disheartening was that? Because you look like you have a car that could probably win this race.
Yeah, it's definitely disappointing. My car, there's nothing wrong with it up until that incident with Rory, but yeah, I am pretty upset about the network drops.
Absolutely. And Billy, I'm going to throw it over to you. I have one question at the end, but go ahead. What do you got for Leighton?
Well, obviously, the safety car has very much just blown that plan out the window, but I was just curious. Obviously, you were pulling Andrew along. He was in the wall at one point, and within 2 laps, it seems like Andrew was just straight back in the lead of the race. Was your plan to just try and block Jeff Green as much as possible and make life as difficult as possible for him to maybe get either Corey or Andrew the win?
My thinking was more just based on staying in front of the leader as often as possible, and Andrew was just the most willing and in position to work with me. So I was just using what I had to try and get laps back.
Right off tempo.
And I'm going to have to ask you here. Two of your teammates up here in the top 3. You get up there. You get a chance to push one of them to the finish lane. Who are you going with? That's tough. That's I have to do it to you.
It's either your boss or a guy who hasn't won yet.
I think I would probably push Corey because he's got the best shot of any of us to take the championship at this point with how I've been dropped back. So get Corey as many points as I can. Try and seal up the championship for Abbott if possible.
Well, we wish you the best of luck here. Let's see what you can do to get up there and help your teammates out. Best of luck to you.
Thanks.
So Leighton Norgard, the influencer out there on the racetrack.
Yeah, he's been a big story point, even if he is only 18th place, 2 laps down. He has very much been the guy to try and help his teammates get the win. And, you know, he's doing everything to get back on the lead, like he was determined, but I think he's unfortunately just going to fall a little bit short. He's pretty much run out of time. There's only going to be 2 laps to go, and he's 2 laps down. So I don't know. Unless he can find a time machine, I think he's going to stay there.
I definitely do think he's going to stay there, but this could get really, really interesting, Will. I'm excited just to see who wins this race, because aside from a small handful of drivers, nobody has won in Elite before in the cars that are up here. So we're almost guaranteed a first-time winner unless Jeff Green or Corey get up there and decide to play it.
Yeah, well, they're the front 2 at the moment. Jeff Green will have control of the restart, but obviously if Corey Abbott and Andrew Hardcastle get hooked up, it's no secret that they are going to work together to try and get a 1-2 for the second time this season for the Abbott Motorsports team. So Jeff Green, obviously Dustin Dewar out early in the race, Michael Goodman not here, so there's not a lot of do-good cars here to help Jeff, so we'll have to wait and see who works with him.
Here we go, Will. I'm nervous for these boys.
So this is going to be one of the most mental GWCs I think we're going to see all season across any of the series. So many people looking for their first win for the championship lead. There's races in races. Behind the flagman with the green flag in the air. We are going again. 2 laps to go. Jeff Green, the big one.
He went way far out. Let's see what happens here. Corey Abbott getting pushed by Trey Holmes up top. I don't know. They may be able to get by Jeff Green here, as we are going to be side by side for second amongst Abbott Motorsports teammates. It's Andrew on the inside, Corey up top as we come down the back straightaway. We're going to be looking for white flag this time. Corey Abbott to the lead.
Abbott to the lead. Corey Abbott with a massive push from Trey Holmes. Now what does he do? Does he look to block the bottom? Does he look to stay high and work with Trey Holmes? They're 3 wide behind them. Robert Smith on the high side. Banging doors with Jeff Story.
Trey
Are they going to make
Holmes
the white flag?
moved out of the
Trey
way.
Holmes loose. He's going to save it. They're going to get to the white flag. Corey Abbott throws the block.
Are they?
Their race is
They
official.
are.
They're going to
White.
get there.
Here we go. Carlos Acosta leading the high lane. Jeff
Jeff
Green
Green
to the high
throws the
side
block.
now.
Contact. They're going to save it again. Corey Abbott remains in
Will,
the lead.
hold on to your
Carlos Acosta.
britches. We're coming to one heck of a finish here. Acosta up top. Abbott on the inside. Jeff Green,
When does
Andrew
Corey throw the
Hardcastle,
block? There
Corey
he goes.
blocking,
Front block.
whatever his
Okay,
name
so
is, to
3
the
wide.
Carlos. Carlos to the
Carlos
middle.
Acosta to the lead.
Oh my gosh, here
Corey
we
Abbott
go.
gets shuffled out. Andrew
moves
Hardcastle
up.
could win
Is
this thing.
Hardcastle gonna get there? Jeff Green,
Green
the leader. Here
Acosta
comes
out of turn 4
Carlos.
for the final time.
Here we go to the line. Acosta, contact. Here we go. Who's gonna get it? Dixon.
Dixon.
Wow. Wow.
What a race.
Tyler Dixon, Carlos Acosta, and Jeff Green. That was a tie for the win. Oh my gosh.
What, 0-0-0?
I don't even, is 0-0-0.
Oh my god.
What a race. What a race. Carlos Acosta. We got to get another shot of this. Oh. This is insane.
My heart is racing. I think Andrew, for a split second, thought he could get there. He just got tagged by Wadsworth.
Oh.
Oh my god, you can't split them.
Oh my word. We're going to step away real quick, get our podium finishers together. When we come back, we're going to have some excitement in the booth. We'll be right back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now. For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. Racing, music, camping, it all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
We are back here. It's the Billy Blanco 200, and we just had a finish for the ages. Tyler Dixon beating Carlos Acosta by 2/1000ths of a second here tonight. William White, let's go ahead and bring in Jeff Green for a quick conversation about his third place finish, and he's standing by with you.
Jeff Green, third place finisher. You got a copy?
I do, William. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, not too bad, man. Obviously, decent result for you, third place at Super Speedway. I guess first objective is always survival, but with a good points haul, how does that affect your outlook on the championship now that you've taken the lead?
Really, I just started running because I was bored. The ARCA series, I wasn't even going to run it, but I mean, they're so fun to drive, and I've had a little bit of luck in them, so able to run good and be fast and be competitive. So it's exciting. You know, I'm excited to run on Tuesday nights now, and that race was up and down for me. For the most part, it was up, I guess, but I knew I was pretty much a sitting duck there on the last lap. But I thought things got broke up enough that maybe I had a chance. But you know, Tyler trying to push Carlos and got Carlos into me, and I was able to go down pit road and hold third. But I'm glad they gave that to me because I'd be disappointed if I didn't. But anyway, it's just racing, and it's a good time for us. I think you know, it's always enjoyable to see the checkered. The last two nights I haven't been able to see the checkered, so that's my main focus, to make sure I was able to see the white flag and have a chance, and that's what we did tonight. So proud.
Yeah, such is Super Speedway racing. Obviously, up you had Corey Abbott on the pole. You had Leighton Norgard and Andrew Harkos with him. All those guys are teammates. How hard was it knowing that you didn't have much help from your do-good teammates? How hard was it to kind of navigate around those Abbott guys who were working so well together to try and stay up front and kind of make life difficult for you in a sense?
Well, it was, and no, our guy, he got a lap down, or I guess he lost connection or whatever. But and he was fast enough to to help those guys. And I lost all my teammates on that first caution, but we had a game plan. We was working it pretty good, and then something went wrong. But it was tough. But my car was fast enough, driving good enough that I could pretty much hold my own, and um, worked really good with some guys out there. Corey really helped me a lot, and was able to help him hopefully. And I just coming down to the end, I knew they would probably team up on me, but I was hoping Corey would help me, and he did. He did do that, and the 48 helped me quite a bit there at the end too. So it's still a good night. It's a race, and you can plan all you want to when the race starts, but when it's all said and done, the plans usually don't work. So you just kind of try to make the best result of what you got to work with that particular lap. And the last lap I thought we was going to be fine, and we were fine, but just didn't get the W.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, third place obviously still a solid result. Any sponsors or teammates, anyone you want to thank for that third place result?
I absolutely got Turner Eye Clinic out of Arkansas. Always good to have him riding along with me on my car, and big friend, a good friend, and a big part of what I do here on iRacing and everything I do in racing. Period. So thank Clifford Turner for that, and Goody for what he does for us and in our league. And it's always fun to be hanging out with the do good guys, and it's just fun to sit down and have good results. And I'm pretty proud for tonight.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on that third place finish, man.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah, Andrew, man.
That is Jeff Green, our third place finisher. And now we're going to talk to our second place finisher, Carlos Acosta. Carlos, you got a copy?
I sure do.
So close to 1,000th of a second. How good did that feel? Getting there, having a shot, but I guess still coming up just a little short.
I'm looking at it now. I'm looking at that replay now. I think my teammate Jess Story may have been like the final contributing factor of pushing the 04 of Dixon right at the very end.
Fired.
Yeah, Jess, you're fired. I'm sorry. Oh, that feels so refreshing from missing the Daytona 500 to missing the truck race to making the Xfinity race and leading laps and then getting wrecked to really improving my qualifying efforts here tonight and finishing this close to yet another plate race. I feel like I'm getting back to where I used to be in plate races, and it's fun, but boy, I can't. This heart can't take this type of racing too much. I'm getting old. I'm getting up there in the years.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Man, I'm looking at that replay.
Definitely unfortunate coming up just a little bit short, but do you think maybe there's something you could have done a little bit differently? Or, of course, being a plate racer, you're just kind of along for the ride?
No, you're just along for the ride, especially with these cars with the bumpers don't align. Dixon did everything right. Obviously, he didn't mean to turn me on purpose. No doubt about that. That little nudge, if maybe I had like predicted it like a little bit better and like counter steered, he could have pushed me to the win. For sure. Especially with my teammate, even like right behind him still. But I only feel bad for Jeff, who I guess he still finished third, so it's not really that big of a deal. But we made contact. I got a 4X. I had a clean race until that point. So I'm not going to be getting that bonus point. But no, you can't really do anything when you're in that spot. Last lap, you don't get off the gas no matter what. Even if you've been turned and you hit the wall, you're still on the gas.
That's exactly it. And Carlos, looking ahead to Charlotte next week, what's your outlook? Do you think maybe you can get it done there?
I think this season has started off a lot better than I thought I would have. I have not been very skilled lately in terms of racing. At least before I took a big sabbatical or early retirement, whatever you call it, to do broadcasting. Ever since I've been back, I've been feeling very confident. It's like, you take a couple years off, you come back, and it's things are starting to hit. Not last week, but last race, I got other stuff going on that prevented me from actually like fully 100% concentrating on the racetrack. So I had a very rare like off week, which would have been a normal for me before I took my sabbatical. But I don't know. I don't know what to expect for Charlotte. Charlotte, I've been bad fast there before, but I'm hoping to just earn a top 10. That's what I want to do, earn top 10s and show that I can, excuse me, show that I can, make it there to the finish of these races and contend for good spots.
Go. Any shout outs you want to give? Any sponsors you want to thank?
Of course, yeah. I want to thank Mrs. Goodies for coming on board and being a part of this team. Holotype Racing for also contributing a little bit here, making sure that we can make these races week in and week out. Just Story Gaming, JSTO Gaming on Kick. It's my teammate Jess. That's his Kick channel. He also streams on Facebook. So that's really everybody I want to thank through ITV, but that's just me. But I also want to thank you guys for doing the broadcast you guys normally do. Always fantastic stuff I see.
Well, we definitely appreciate that, Carlos. Congratulations on a runner-up finish tonight, and we'll see you next week at Charlotte.
Thank you. See you guys.
Well, Will, finally the man of the hour. We'll let you kick this one off. It is Tyler Dixon, a first-time elite winner.
Tyler Dixon, race winner, you got a copy?
Yeah, got y'all.
Hey there, obviously congratulations on the win. First ever win in the Elite Racing League. How good does that feel?
Yeah, it was something else. It was a fun night, and it was pretty cool to finally win one of these.
So obviously you started further in the back, but obviously that doesn't really matter at a super speedway. It kind of matters where you finish, where you are on those closing laps. What was the plan throughout the duration of the race? Was you wanting to run up front the entire time? Was you wanting to hang in the back? What was the outlook?
Outlook was gonna be if I qualified in the top 15-ish, I was gonna try to get up front, and that didn't happen. And just knowing the ARCA series is a development league, I was then just gonna ride in the back until something happened. But I think it was about halfway there was that wreck that didn't have a caution, and it kind of just spaced us all out. So I think me and Trey and I think it was Rasmus, we all just got in the line and just ticked off laps until about 20 some to go, and we kind of put the pedal down, tried to catch the lead. So really, after that one wreck, we just decided to ride it out and see what happened.
Absolutely. Well, obviously we've got a Charlotte double header, as it were. Obviously the Charlotte Oval and then the Charlotte Dirt Track immediately after that. What are your expectations? What are your hopes for those two races? You think you can have some similar results to tonight?
No. Dirt is for farming. So I'm not going to be good at that. And then the oval might be okay. I'm looking forward to that one, but just here to have fun. Not expecting too much. So really just a getaway from work. So that's all it is for me.
Absolutely, man. Well, before I let you go, any sponsors you want to thank? Or before I hand you over to Robert, any sponsors you want to thank?
Yeah. Obviously Nesquik, the best chocolate milk out there. Also the Lake Norman guys. Those are the guys I race with. So appreciate Fody and the gang for letting me stick around and race a few laps with them.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Well, Tyler, Will kind of stole my question at the end about your sponsors, but congratulations on the win. Welcome to the Winners Club here in Elite. And I just got to ask, how much help was Tyler Fody up there on the stand for you guys tonight?
He was doing it all. He really helps us out and make sure strategy-wise we know what we're doing. Just keeps us locked in throughout the race. Just if we have any questions, anything like that. So very thankful to have him up there looking out for us, and appreciate all the help he gives us.
Well, congratulations. Very happy to finally see you get it done here. First of many for you, Tyler, and we'll see you next week at Charlotte.
Hey, sounds good, buddy. Appreciate y'all for doing the broadcast for us, and Ethan for doing the off track, all that good stuff. So thank y'all.
Absolutely. That's Tyler Dixon, your winner tonight at Daytona. Will, we did it. We had a first-time winner here in Elite in this race. Of course, the results on the screen unofficial. Jeff Green did finish third, was pushed down pit road in a late caution, so that's going to move Jess Story and everyone else back a spot. So your top five: Tyler Dixon, Carlos Acosta, Jeff Green, Jess Story, and Andrew Hardcastle. But final thoughts from you, Mr. Billy Blanco.
Well, obviously, it's super cool to see Tyler Dixon get his first ever win. Obviously, Carlos up there. Andrew, Jess, obviously Jeff Green extending his championship lead now. Corey Abbott probably kicking himself after being in the lead halfway down the backstretch on the final lap, ends up 7th on the day. But yeah, this just makes me more excited for the rest of the season. We all knew this was going to be a crazy race, probably was going to have a first-time winner, or at least an unexpected winner, and that's exactly what we got. So definitely some big stories heading into Charlotte in terms of, we're talking about the championship, and also some of these guys who have got some brilliant results tonight carrying some momentum into the next races.
Well, definitely pleased to see a first-time winner here tonight. Great race all around. And like you said, can't wait for Charlotte coming up next week. But first, tomorrow night, right here on the Elite Racing Network, 7:30 p.m., tune in. Dave Huckleberry, Gerald Campbell, and David Westergreen alongside Alexander Ned will bring you the Home Place Beer Company 500. Tune in for that. Looking forward to being out on the racetrack for that one, and hopefully talking to you folks in Victory Lane. Thanks for joining us tonight, and we'll see you next week. Have a good night, everybody.